rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people, if they want to be rich, right? The poor mindset keeps you at wanting to be rich, right? That's where you say like, oh, yeah, I want to be rich. Like, yeah, like I'm okay with being rich. Who wouldn't want to be rich? I can do so much stuff with being rich. I can have a lot of things, and I could give to my family, and I could be debt free, and I could help out so many. Like they want to be rich, but rich people are committed to being rich. Rich mindsets are committed to being rich. So how do we start to build up that kind of wealth mindset to separate, our rich from our poor mindset? All right. So a huge thing that's going to set you apart from other poor people is actually like deciding like completely that you are going to be rich, that you're going to be successful, that you're going to be wealthy, that you're going to provide so much value to the world, like whatever the case is, you're going to, and that you're committed to it, and that it like that there's no other option. It's not that you want to, it will happen, it has to happen. Like thinking about that is what's going to help you out so much more in the long run. Not saying that you're going to automatically become rich, but it's going to get you so much further from being poor, right? Your mindset is going to matter a lot when it comes to it, right? Like rich people, they do believe in that abundance, right? They do believe that there is enough to go around. There is enough money to go around. There is enough time for me to be able to, fail and have successes. They believe in abundance. They have an abundance mindset versus poor people that have that scarcity mindset. Once again, we're in that scarcity mindset. There's not enough to go around. There's not enough money. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. Like if I don't make the exact right decision at this time, there's no point, right? But actually having that proactive approach towards being wealthy is going to make it so much easier in the future for you versus being reactive to struggling, right? We don't want to react to struggling, right? Remember I talked about the line, right? You don't want to react to the bottom. You want to be proactive on the wealth part, so that way as even it starts to go down, you're already taking good actionable steps ahead of time, right? I think a lot of people, they think they deal with, okay, well, yep, my bills just came out. I don't have any money left to save. Dang it. I told myself like, I would save like $50 out of my check, after I paid my bills and after I bought groceries and all that kind of stuff. That's reactive. Proactive is actually taking the step to say, hey, I'm going to pay myself first. I'm going to take this $50 out of my check before I pay for anything else and put it in this savings account or put it into this investment or whatever the case is first. That's taking a proactive approach, because eventually when you are struggling financially, now at least you already were proactive ahead of time to pull money from. Or like, how are you being proactive in your life? Or are you? Or are you just being reactive to the struggles that you're having, right? So I talked a good bit in our development section, like how to develop yourself overall, about goals and visions and missions, right? I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to actually break down your vision into two different sections, right? Your mission statement, which is built on your values, right? And then how you enact it is based on the decisions that you're making every single day. Rich people make decisions based on their mission. If their mission is to provide, homes for poor people, I don't know, to create free homes for poor people and to provide free financial education, I don't know, just making something up. Every decision that they make in that day to day, is going to ultimately serve their decision to help out poor people to get homes. Like every decision that they make. And when you have those kind of ambitions and those kinds of goals and missions, you go so much further because you're actually driving towards your own success, and you're not waiting for something else to. You're not hoping that something else walks up and gives you the value that you need. Like if you allow things to hinder your financial progress, you're never you're never going to actually take full action, right? So another piece I want to talk about is how rich people are persistent. They are persistent. They are committed to taking consistent and strategic action towards actually being wealthy and accumulating wealth. Right? For them, it's not about, well, what can I do just today that's going to earn me a couple extra dollars. No, they're going to look at all these strategic options that they have and consistently pound them out, knock them out, one after another, right? And so I want to talk about like when you do come to a challenging point where it's hard for you to make a decision because neither one of them feels like you're going to be able to become wealthy or is going to serve you ultimately. Having that persistence and that resilience to say, well, neither of these two things are going to serve me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to do what I have been doing, right? Like that's the part that sucks a lot of times for a lot of people is that they want to have all these different opportunities that are presenting themselves to them, but taking that consistent work, doing that consistent work that you're doing, obviously, if you already have that, if you've already figured out the key, right, it's going to do you so much better. Right? You definitely don't want to think about only these short-term focuses, these short-term efforts. It's not about, oh, let me go ahead and put in the work today, tomorrow, and the next day. No, like you actually need to build up that resistance and that persistence to continue putting in a consistent amount of effort. Another thing that the rich people do in order to show that they're committed to being rich is that they are going to take smart investments and risk. We've already talked about that. You have to do that. And then also building on your network and your relationship. But how do you ultimately break the cycle of just wanting to be successful, of just wanting to be rich? How do you actually do that? Here's what you do. Write down a short paragraph on exactly why creating wealth is important to you. Why would creating wealth, why would being rich, why would being successful be important to you? Like actually why? Be extremely specific. And then with that, meet with somebody like a friend, a family member, a business partner, a business mentor of yours who's like willing to actually support you. And I want you to tell that person to actually they need to be there with you, and you need to actually commit to that purpose, to what you just wrote in that paragraph. And at the end of it, legitimately look at that person and say, repeat this statement. Like put your hand on your heart and repeat the statement. I, whatever your name is, Charming, do hereby commit to becoming a millionaire or to finding a career that's going to pay me over $500,000 a year by 2034. That's 10 years from now. And then tell the person that you're talking to say, I believe in you. And you say thanks. Write down why it is so important, and then promise to yourself and to someone else to hold you accountable. It's hard for people to say it out loud. But when you say it out loud, you actually give life to it. When you say it out loud, you actually speak it into existence. And now that you've said it, you can't go back. That you can't like unsay it. And a lot of people, they have a hard time saying their wildest dreams out loud, because if they say the wildest dream out loud and somebody hears them, even if it's them that hear them and then they felt it, oh, they're a failure. Well, remember, failure is looked at as a learning experience by the wealthy individuals. We talked about a lot of stuff today. And I'm excited because I know this week you guys are going to go and implement some really great stuff, right? Remember, 3 tips of the week. Like, provide free value and content on social media posts, right? Stop letting fear dictate how you talk to people, who you talk to, and also master the art of being a conversationalist, right? Those are my 3 tips for you of the week. But ultimately, remember that you can choose to think in ways that support your success, your happiness, your wealth, or ultimately you can choose to think in ways that support the opposite, right? You being poor, you staying in a bad situation, right? With that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, and even in this second one, make sure to give this video a like. Also subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. But if you did, missed last week's podcast and you want to start somewhere, but you don't want to watch the whole podcast, you just want to watch one video that kind of wraps up everything that I talked about last week, make sure to check out this video here. And without further ado, guys, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.